So we're standing on the edge of a revolution. A technology called CRISPR is giving us the power to rewrite the very code of life itself. Now, this could mean curing humanity's most awful diseases, but that same power puts us on this incredibly dangerous ethical tightrope, and it's forcing us to ask some really tough questions about what it even means to be human.
Just take a second and really imagine that. A world where you could just erase hereditary diseases from your family tree forever. No more suffering caused by a single tiny flaw in our genetic code. I mean, it sounds like pure science fiction, right? But it's actually a lot closer than you might think. And yeah, it's not fiction. The tech is called CRISPR. You can think of it like a biological version of find and replace for your DNA. It gives scientists this incredible ability to go into our genetic code, find a specific gene that's causing a problem, and literally edit it. This is the power to rewrite the blueprint of life.
The promise that comes with that power is, well, it's staggering. Picture this: an entire generation born completely free from the genetic lottery that has, for all of human history, decided so much about our health and our fate.
And we're not talking about small things here. We're talking about the potential to completely wipe out devastating diseases like cystic fibrosis or Huntington's. These are conditions that have brought just immeasurable suffering to families for generations. The potential for healing it's almost limitless.
But, and this is a really big but, for all its incredible promise, CRISPR isn't just another scientific breakthrough. It's been called an ethical earthquake, because the same power that can heal brings with it a dilemma of, well, seismic proportions. And this is where the ground really starts to shake. At the very heart of that earthquake is this one question: what happens when the exact same tool that you use to fix a deadly disease can also be used to select for traits that have absolutely nothing to do with health? What happens when we move from curing to designing? And that brings us to a term you've probably heard before: designer babies. It's a really provocative phrase for sure, but it points to a very real possibility: using gene editing not just to prevent sickness, but to enhance, to choose physical features or to try and boost intelligence or even engineer athletic talent from the get-go. So you see, there are these two very different paths opening up right in front of us. On one side, you've got healing, correcting genetic mistakes to cure diseases. On the other side, you've got designing, engineering specific traits to create enhancements. The technical line between them is incredibly thin, but the ethical gap between them, it's just massive. And it's that second path, the path of enhancement, that challenges basically everything. It makes us ask these fundamental questions. What does it actually mean to be human? And what happens to the idea of equality when we can literally write advantages into our DNA?
This right here is the single biggest fear that surrounds this technology: the risk of creating a new, and maybe permanent, genetic divide. A world of the haves and the have-nots on a biological level. A class system written into our very cells.
It's a really sobering thought. Is that a world we're actually prepared to build? Is our pursuit of perfection worth the potential cost to what makes us all, human? So ultimately, that's the moral tightrope we're all walking. On one side, there's a future free from horrible genetic diseases, and on the other, a future that could create a kind of inequality we can barely even imagine. And humanity is just balancing right in the middle. And make no mistake, this is not some problem for a far-off, distant future. The technology is already here. The debates are happening right now. The choices we make, the lines we draw in the sand today, are going to have consequences for every single generation that comes after us. So that leaves us with one final, absolutely crucial question. And the answer is anything but simple. As a society, as a species, are we ready for this kind of power? Are we ready to decide what it means to be human in the age of the genetic editor?